Finally, howdy gang. It has been a little too long, but we're back. um, looks like it warped us to entrance to the area. That's fine. We don't really have to do anything else here. I think we're supposed to go to TLOZ bar, figure out where to go. I'm pretty sure we're going to the snow level, which I don't think there's a ton of setup to. We have to do a fishing quest, which is like the only other time the fishing pole is required in this game. Castletown. You know what? I actually should go here to the bridge of Eldon. Source domain. I might have to go there from Castletown. Bridge is gone. I can only get there from up and around. Get that fast travel point, and I'll come back here and grab the bridge. And that should open up the way to the super hard mode thing, arena. I don't feel like I'm able to do it quite yet, but it'll be good just to have it open at all. I believe the reward for it is not only a bottle and a super potion that you can only get from that Great Fairy Fountain. Yes, it is the only Great Fairy Fountain in the game. But also, every single shrine, like with the gods, will have fairies at it too, which is super useful considering how often we need to heal. Not that fairies are the best heal, but at least having an extra life, one of them, will help a lot. In most cases, potions are just better. How'd he know? How'd he know? Barnes, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's giving me a second bomb bag. Is actually a unique feature of this game, because of course you have the different bomb types. Which is good, because I'm not sure how I'm gonna use the cannons in the next dungeon with the crawly bombs. Also good that we're already heading to Kakariko, sort of. The letters. Rare item in stock. How have you been? Still a bomb enthusiast? Still loving bombs? Well, I've got some interesting bombs in, so come on by and pick some up. Wait till you see what these babies can do. He's probably talking about the bombwings, which is weird because I already have them. I found these in a cave, didn't I? Pretty sure we get that, like, portable horse whistle soon enough, too, so we won't have to be walking around like this. I'm trying to find some horse grass, but it's not really around, so maybe I should just be a wolf. Notice that these Lizalfos, I think they're called, probably means lizard folk. Lizalfolks. Notice how they replaced all the goblins in the fields after I got the Master Sword. I was trying to say. So, towards the end of the last episode, I believe I mentioned a sort of baseless theory about the Twilight realm actually being the past that was ruled by Ganon. And you know what? I think that I might have actually found minor evidence. That being, one, in Link to the Past, he used the mirror to go between the two worlds. And, you know, obviously the Dark World in that one is the past. More specifically, when you go into the Dark World, you turn into a bunny man. And this Link turns into a wolf for some reason in the Dark World. I imagine it has something to do with their personality. Like I said the first time he turned into a wolf, but, I think that might be a very loose connection. Oh. So I also mentioned that, even though Ganondorf was arrested and, executed / imprisoned in the Twilight Realm, he did steal the Triforce. And, that's sort of the reason that the magic isn't in this game, which I mentioned as a sort of ding against it. The Triforce isn't whole anymore, so Hyrule doesn't have the goddess's protection or whatever. I guess it all just faded away with time. Almost doesn't look like you can bomb it. I also can't bomb it with these, so bomb arrows, which I already have equipped. For real? Damn! Come on! I swear this has to be it, what you do, unless there's like a shooting gallery that I'm missing. Huh. I can try coming back with normal bombs, but I want to try just dropping a bomb wing and see if it'll go off on its own. That would be generous. Yeah, it's not working. Oh shit. I guess I'll have to come back here with normal bombs then. So, another Neo thought is that, so at the end of Skyward Sword, right, you fight Demise and he puts the curse on Link and his, entire lineage that they're always gonna play a Ganon type of dude. However, the Ganondorf in this game happens to be the old Link's Ganondorf, which... you know, I'm not sure of the curse's rules necessarily, but that would mean that this guy still has another bad man to fight. I think that'd really be neat to see a game with an old grizzled Link. 50-year-old Link. This is the bridge, I believe. See the stairs to the dungeon down there. It was where I thought it was. Okay, so, during this alleged Naruto Hyrule War, where the hell was Link, right? He's a badass Superman sword boy with the mega spin move. He should have Hyrule Warriors to everything, and you know, Naruto got their ass kicked, right? Well, no, because whichever way you choose to believe, you know, Link being dead from Majora's Mask or alive doesn't really matter. He wasn't in Hyrule anymore. He was long gone. Oh, he wasn't really around for those events. Maybe he returned towards the end of the war. I don't know. I'd like to believe that he came back after the slaughter and helped them reestablish themselves. I thought I heard a Poe chain, but that's actually sparkling up a gold bug. I still want to find, but now I know what I'm looking for. There it is.
It might be good.
I don't know if I briefly mentioned it, but that, for Skellington's Swordmaster, he's one of the former Links. The most common belief is they use the hero time. And, I don't know, we'll stick with that. Apparently his shield looks something similar to the mirror shield that you get in Majora's Mask. I don't think I've ever gotten that far in the game. I've been playing the 3DS version semi-recently. I kind of stopped because I was getting ready to play this on stream, but as a kid I only ever got the Great Bay Temple, and it was super confusing, and just recently that's literally the last thing I did, the Great Bay Temple. And it was every bit as confusing, but I finally beat it for once in my goddamn life. So I never actually gotten that shield. Wouldn't be able to tell you. I guess the other main piece of evidence would be that big owl on his armor. Or you choose to believe that it's an owl, it's a bird of some sort. Which is what's also on the Hylian shield, so I don't really buy it entirely. The red bird is supposed to be the Loftwing, by the way. I don't know. Very well could be first Link, who knows. Just like I suggested, his tunic might be his as well, because it's all armory and not just, you know, clothing. Most likely just an artistic choice, but still. This freaking bug. Anyways, the whole point of that was that swordsman admits to being like a royal guardsman. Like, he protects the princess. So, someone she trusts very much, likely her childhood friend, Fairy Boy. However, the fact that he's a skeleton would mean that he died in the Lost Woods or something along those lines. Some specific woods, Kakari Forest maybe. Or, you know, the Kakari children were all immortal, so they wouldn't traditionally die and make skeletons all over the place. So it makes sense for him to go back to his home and die there. That'd be the biggest piece of evidence that it's that specific fella. Anyways, I don't think that he genocided any Gerudo women. Except for when he went through that No-Gear section to get to the Spirit Temple. Oh, also, I did say that they were all dead. That's maybe not necessarily true. I mean, there were Gerudo women in Termina, so I guess they spread out in pirate groups, but, you know, their homeland's gone. The bulk of them are dead. Kinda like, Native Americans today. Still are people with red skin, but they're very few and far between. 2 empty bottles. I'll fill them both a red potion. Don't want the blue one? I probably want the red one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 8 hearts is fine. Probably after the next dungeon, I'll be ready to start using blues. Why do I always come here at night? I want to donate to Malamort so I can get rid of these freaking rupees, but there's no sun song in this game, so I can't just skip time like that. I think Barnes' shop might be open. I don't know why I ran all the way down here.
Oh.
You bastard. Oh. He doesn't want to give me a second bag. I'm like 80% sure I get a second bag at some point, but he doesn't want to give it to me, then I'll end up my bomb wings and I'll get the water bombs? Only 5. I don't think I'll be doing that much water exploration. I'll go with the normal ones. And do that for funsies. And then we were heading to Telma's bar before I got sidetracked with the whole bridge thing. We can stop at the hot spring while I'm here. Gerudo Goron to launch me up. I don't even know. Oh, you know what? Going back to pitch for Old Man Link game, assuming that he needs another Ganon to fight, because he's fighting Old Boy's Ganon, that would also imply that the Zelda in this game is that same Zelda from before, meaning that he gets another Zelda, so you can literally copy God of War 4 and have Link protecting his daughter Zelda. So not only is the old ass man Link, but Daddy Link. I think someone would eat it up. I always think that the father doing his best to provide for his children in a harsh world is always a very compelling narrative. I guess it's just such a relatable human struggle. And it's not like gender specific either. Like even mothers want to care for their children like that. Just a little more fitting for video games when it's the father, though, because, like, generally speaking, all they can do is provide. They can't necessarily care as well. No point digging, no hearts. Crazy, I spotted two poses at the same time. These two are ridiculously close to each other. Oh, that was that. Kind of ruined our whole point of going to the hot spring, but you know what? We have one more heart than we came in here with. And that's good enough. I don't know why I hit that. I wanted to warp. Right, to Telma's, finally. Freaking 20 minutes later. I didn't get nothing out of it. Collected some pose. I think I can actually go grab a reward from that guy. Goldo. Hey, is that gold bug? I want that. I might be able to get another reward from Agatha, too. I feel like I've collected a fair amount of bugs since I last talked to her. Maybe. Still can't do the star game. We definitely 100% need a dual shot. Which, if I remember correctly, this Sky Palace place is actually the last mirror piece. So we won't get that for a good while yet. Here's Agatha's place. Or, that might have been the fortune teller. Shit, boob lady. Him peeping on her, looking to beam some bugs. Circle of life. Oh, I like that. All the fellas you turn in just show up around here. I always like collection rooms. If you're not gonna give me a reward for collecting all the things, at least let me see that I collected them somewhere satisfying, right? In a way, it's its own reward. Just liven up a place. Can't believe I can't just turn them all in at once. That'd be awesome. It also only holds 600 rupees, so these last 3 rewards are gonna go to waste. Not that I'm especially worried about that. Instant the sun comes up, I'm donating all of this to Malamart. Now I have the bridge repaired, I can actually go do the hot spring water quest. I maybe should have grabbed while I was there, but I just bought 2 potions, so I'm gonna hold off on that. Well, that's all I have for her. All she gave me was money. There's a second floor to this place, right? Yeah. I'd lose my shit if I had this many bugs just crawling all around my room. Not even that most bugs are gross or anything like that, and Obviously, yeah, I don't fuck with spiders. Not because they're super scary, it's just spiders don't give a shit about us. I shouldn't give a shit about them. If they want to bite me, they can fuck off. So, eh. I'm not kind to them. Aside from that, everyone's like, oh, they're so good for the environment. They kill other bad bugs. Well, they also give birth in freaking massive broods and then cannibalize themselves, so I'm pretty sure me squashing the ones in my house isn't really gonna affect anything. They're really having a freaking extinction crisis. They can just stop eating themselves. Anyways, what was I even saying? Right, bugs, it's not that they're gross or scary or poisonous. It's that they jitter around so fast, like it's super distracting when you just see a black dot jitter really fast. It draws my attention every time, and it's super annoying, especially when you're trying to do work. Need one more, you son of a bitch. Right, to the bar then. 30 minutes later now. Such big deviations. Drinks in a bar. He can drink, but he doesn't do that because he's cool. Notice that this bar has actual beer. And not just milk. By the way, what's up with the milk bar in Majora's Mask? It's not like milk is alcoholic or anything. I'm not even on tempo. You just say it normally. Well, there you go, guys. I know some people would like to just believe that the entire timeline is like a shoehorned thing, and we're stupid for even trying to piece it together. But I think that sentence right there points out that they at least had plans for Skyward Sword for a while. And they wanted that to be like a core part of the story. Whether, like, the order of all the subsequent games, maybe not necessarily planned by them, but I think they intended for it to be a prequel from the very beginning. And just, like, cement the entire shebang to the birth of the Master Sword and whatnot. So they're not actually telling me where to go, so I guess I just have to look around. Notice that the Chinese Dutch knight woman girl thing wasn't there, so that
Good as spotted.
Someone who played the game before tells me that I definitely need to go to the snow area, so I'm gonna just head there and see if she's anywhere to be found. Does that purple dot mean dungeon, or does it mean objective? No, the red dots mean objective, so that's dungeon. Jesus, my voice. So where's the main? This is where it is. No, I never went to the bottom of this area, did I? And I don't have water bombs. Oh. I think you can hide right here.
We with you, Cutie.
Where is my lantern? Ah, yes, the poor blue tunic that we only use in this area. I think if any game would have benefited from bringing back the classic tunics or actual armor system, it'd probably have been this one. You know, blue tunic gives more armor, and red tunic is even more, or having the option between the red and the blue tunic for damage or armor. I forget which game did that one. Maybe Link's Awakening? Or, no, that game didn't have color. I really don't know which one did that. I know if I blow this up, it's definitely maybe a heart piece. There's something big in there. Oh boy. I'm mad I chose not to buy water bombs. We'll be teleporting back here plenty if I go back to Kakariko, which I know I will. I'll swap them out, I guess. It should be all the way at the bottom. And there you go. You see how the thing opened up and they put guards up here to maybe point you towards it a bit. I don't know how anybody would know that there's a snowy mountain past this area, but we're using our Deus Ex Machina. Sure, someone would have told us if we asked around even more. Oh yeah, if you didn't notice, I did turn the HD mod back on. If it doesn't work out here, I'll turn it off just like last time. But I think it should be smooth for most of the rest of the game. 80% sure it's scrolling textures that were screwing it up. Red fish. Whoops. Well, I guess I'm teleporting out. I need to go and show that fish drawing to people. That's the plan. I can try Telma, or I think it might be someone in Kakariko to help me out. Whoa! Oops. Well, I guess everybody's indoors now, so that makes this easy. Weak against fire and ice. So, my train of thought tells me talk to the village elder, because he's wise and knows about fish. Probably. Otherwise, go talk to Blondie, because he gave me the fishing rod. No response, you piece of shit. No response, you vindictive bitch. I know I lost the horse, forgive me. Alright, it's morning, so I can dump my rupees on Mallow. You might think that fixing this bridge will help you get the hot spring quest done, but it doesn't, because the bridge leads to just the other side of the rocks and there's no way around. You have to take the long way regardless. So Mallow's shop won't actually open until you've done both things, but the guys at the market don't tell you anything about that. So it makes it kind of a more bullshitty side quest, so you have to do 2 parts of it. They only tell you about 1 part. Now why'd I sell all my rupees if I'm supposed to trade in my bombs? Well, that's because I'm trading in my bombs, which she gives me money for. And hopefully it's enough to buy a stack of these. 30 rupees for 5. Got it. How much did I pay for that freaking 30 stack? Like 100? 150? Oh well, we're getting a heart piece out of it. I hope. Gorons eat fish. Pretty sure they eat rocks. Oh, this kid. You know anything about fish?
You think we would?
Can't warp here.
What if we might? Help me, okay.
Man, this is kind of nuts. They're actually not telling you where to go.
If you need me.
I don't remember this ever being a long trek to get to the fishing quest. But they just say, hey, I fished wrong and show it to people. Good luck. The song isn't as good as the other Castle Town. It's still okay. It's a really nice shade of blue. Thought I'd say that. Also, look at these Arc Spatulus-ass guards. Design has to have been inspired by them. Has to have. Going both ways. Elma, do you like fish? Swear to God. I am at a loss.
You will go there.
I could try talking to Zoras, and they're fish. You can also try the Cannon Man. And there's the boat mini game I can do.
Hoping a
Yeah, it didn't work. Did I ever howl like that? No, I'm pretty sure that opened up the one in the desert. Birdo? No.
You need it?
I want to say that if I'm a wolf, I can do that flying segment again, and there might be a heart piece in there this time as well. You just kind of have to risk getting knocked off to get it. Popping balloons. Watermelon 1, orange 3, strawberry 10. Hitting balloon twice gets double. 10 times. Gotta say, it's pretty annoying that I'm gonna have to do that every time. Shooting for that 10,000 points, so let's one take Jake this. God, that's an ugly bird. So, considering that there's only these few watermelons here, I was gonna say it might have been worth it to just hold out and go for that orange. Okay, that's game over. This thing has a lot of weight to it. It doesn't just go when you want it to. Anyways, there's between those oranges and the watermelons, there's only 3 watermelons, which is equal to 1 orange. Or if I just skipped all those melons and went for the next orange, I'd have gotten like 9 points. Or 12 even. Jesus. 24? Not sure how the doubling works anymore. There's also that one strawberry there just tempting you to screw up your combo. I think the trick might be to go for all oranges. Unless you want to be risky and go for this chain of straws. Ah, crap. watermelons are big specifically to fuck up your combo. Pretty much never want to touch them. I'm sure you can play it safe and just go for the oranges. Ah, I can do that? Awesome. I think it's because I hit the back button. Good to know. Yeah, it is. Because I know that chain of strawberries is coming up. Take that one. Instead of the orange. Ah! That wall is really dangerous. I feel like I have to turn in so sharply to get it from the last strawberry, so maybe it's worth skipping one of them to try and keep my orientation straight. I'm gonna skip that one this time and see if it helps me out at all. Because now I don't have to turn in at all, like I'm already going straight and I... It's dirty. Pretty sad about that. I didn't even get the restart. I guess this would be a good time to talk about Vampyr, which I mentioned I would share my thoughts on last week. So I did finish the game, finished it once, and I just missed that strawberry because I'm a goof, a goofy. So, my first run, I made the mistake of going for the no kills, just because it's my instinct to be the good guy. And I don't think I had too much trouble. Like, a lot of people were complaining that you were going to be massively out-leveled. Wasn't the case for me. Maybe because I hooked up with another important NPC and ended up getting a lot of people sick, which is actually a great source of XP if you're not feeding on people, so it worked out. So I wasn't massively starved for levels. I was a little under, but at a certain point, you're just good enough to make it with only your melee weapon. However, it definitely felt like I was subverting what the developers intended for me to do by not killing anybody and just ignoring the whole aspect of the game. I got an achievement out of it, but boy do I feel like I missed out. Getting to know all the characters was super fun and interesting, and then at the end of the day there was no point to it because I wasn't going to eat anyone. I didn't have to weigh my my morals or anything like that. Wow, I actually crushed the goal, sick. I can see it being a very compelling mechanic, though. So I also went into a second playthrough where I'm actually eating people, and now that I know the ins and outs of the game, I'm just speeding through it, and I'm actually almost at the end of the second playthrough. Considering that it took me like 40 hours to beat the first one, I'm a little amazed. I am skipping through most of the dialogue, though. The only stuff that changes based on your alignment would be actual story things, not all the NPC interactions. So I just know what to tell people to get all their hints and stuff. I know where everything is. Makes you feel like a real sociopath. I guess this is what vampires are. Maybe that's what makes them so scary, that they're not that much of a mythical thing. Anyways, the story was great. The only real complaint I heard from everybody, really, was, you know, the combat. It's a bit bland. Considering that there's no block and it's all about dodging, I guess you could best compare it to Bloodborne, which I really hate to say. Though, you know, there's obviously a lot less depth to it, which is why it's a negative. However, you know, it's competent for what it is. I just wish that there was more to it. Towers are all really fun, which, you know, obviously I didn't get to take advantage of in that first run. Now, structure-wise, it's, kind of in also that, Bloodborne from Software, Zelda, Metroidvania kind of deal. You know, you get keys, unlock new areas, unlock shortcuts. And, you know, I think I actually had a pretty similar experience that I did with, Blood Omen. I really enjoyed the game. There were definitely areas where it could have done better, but very enjoyable. And I'd love to see what they would do with the sequel. Or just another game in the same universe, because they obviously had a lot of lore written for it. Speaking of which, the lore, the game's main collectibles. Kinda weird. right? Some of them are like straight up information things or interviews with other immortals. But other times it's just like rumors and propaganda that you're supposed to try and gather the truth from. Kind of interesting, I guess. It kind of grounds it into reality a bit more. But at the same time, I just like, please give me facts. Nighttime, they're closed. Hold on, do you know anything about fish? Yeah, I feel like the game definitely could have benefited from some fast travel between all your safe houses. But once you get the layout of the world, it's really not that big. You can make your rounds through all the inhabited areas in less than 10 minutes. Even shorter if you choose to skip the fighting, which I never did, but you can. She ran inside. Please let me transform. I don't think I can beat these guys without being a wolf. Oh boy. What are we gonna do? Oh, I see. I guess I have to figure this out. Did it. I didn't think that was gonna one-hit them, and that was gonna be the main issue. If they didn't die within like half a second. Invited me into our house. Is it, Mom? Is this it, Mom? Is this how I get the second bomb bag? Oh, Len. Oh, sure. So I think that's actually the minigame. I'm supposed to shoot stuff while on a boat. So, shooting gallery minigame pretty much, but, you know, a little more interesting. Hey, this is how I get the second bomb bag. Sick.
Bye.
So as far as story differences with the alignment, again, I haven't finished the second playthrough, but I can say already that there's some story beats that are more dramatic / just work better. You know, when you're more the bad man, embracing your vampiric nature. Probably be blowing these up instead of running into them. There's one boss fight in the middle of the game specifically that kind of has a bit of a nonsensical moment in it that I feel worked a lot better in the bad guy run. I don't want to get into spoilers, so it's kind of shitty to have to be vague about it. Just saying, I'm not sure whether it's a good or bad thing. But no, some things just work out better. Story-wise, I don't know why she needed to tell me that. Like, I already knew that I need to blow shit up. Am I gonna get lost if I don't follow her? That'd be interesting. I think that the minigame might actually be to follow her and collect these rupees. As you see, the boat's super hard to control, so that's quite challenging. I guess that's all the thoughts I have on the top of my head. Not a bad game at all, very enjoyable. Fighting isn't fantastic, but there's also not a ton of it. I think a majority of your time will be spent in dialogue, showing off their strengths for making life is strange, I guess. Maybe the game could have been a better visual novel, but it's not bad for what it is. Fun. I don't feel like there's enough vampire games made, period. Really are just the most compelling slash empathetic monsters. Werewolves too, to an extent, but they kind of fall into the same mythos. You know, some people pit them as mortal enemies, some people say they're the same kind of race. You have one, you'll usually have the other. Right, so if I teleport back up, I can use the minigame for a heart piece, I guess. Now, speaking of the writing being good, the voice acting was also great. That's a pretty big point I should have made. Honestly, it has piqued my interest in maybe checking out Life is Strange. I feel like the subject matter wouldn't really appeal to me, because I never really fit in with the other kids my age. But if they can tell a compelling story, I'm down, I guess. I watched a little bit of the second game, and I was enjoying that for the most part, but even that's like a different subject matter. What am I doing? I'm trying to teleport. Oh, alright, I also tried Captain Spirit, because that was free. This was several months ago, but I remember just being kind of hit by it. There was a lot of real emotions in that. I feel like only a kid who is maybe minorly disabled or grew up in a poor household, which both apply to me, would really get hit by the hardest by it.
Animal House. You just wait there.
Ah!
Alright, let's see what this boat game's about. 20 rupees, seems I have 2 tries. Don't tell me about it. They look kinda like jars, but what are they? What are they really? Are they bitcoins? Green target's worth 1, red are worth 2. Boat hits anything, you lose 1 point. Get 25 to get a prize. Okay. Oh! Oh boy. The arrows fall. Who'd have thunk? Hopefully I don't have to be super skilled with my aiming, because I have infinite arrows here. Ah! Crap! Crap! I just noticed that they're reusing the flying area. Good them to repurpose it. I wonder which came first though, the flying segment or this minigame. Shit. You've lost 3 points total. Keep that in mind for when we retry. See if we even hit enough to get it. Shit. 4 points. 5. Ah, 6. What is happening? end, so I can take 3 hits, I guess. I know there were a couple of jars that I missed, but assuming I hit only the same ones, I can take 3 hits. A lovely prize. I'm sure there wasn't any pun intended there. But we all know it's a heart piece. Only prize worth a damn. Go, let's go, let's go. Spam A, GTA. I don't have any points yet, so we're good. Oh, I'd be so pissed if it went to -1. I've got another thing to add on to Vampyr. I do think that the second playthrough is worth it. Crap. Just trying out like a different set of powers or even a different weapon just completely changes the way you play the game. Like before I was super defensive, and I went with like blood stealing stuff. I initially started out with stun, but decided if the whole goal of stunning a guy was to get blood, I might as well go with blood steal. And it didn't work out super well. I was super defensive, played still a long time. This time I went for like a super aggressive stun build, and it is absolutely nuts. Completely different playstyle, feels great, and I'd love to see what other builds are possible. But if you're the kind of person with limited time, like I just said that my first playthrough took me like 40 hours, and you're only gonna play the game once, I definitely recommend not going for either extreme. Just like play with being a vampire and have fun with it. Play with the morality of who you're killing, who will be missed, who's actually worth doing it to. I think that's definitely what the developers intended. Holy shit, it wasn't a heart piece. Giant bomb bags. Look at that face. Is that a Django skin? For real, is that what that is? It has eyeballs. did a thing. Didn't make any progress in the story, but shit, we did a thing. Get the heart piece from here. And, I think the plan was to go show the paper to fish, so there's plenty of fish here.
Keep on fearless.
I heard sparkling, that's why I'm looking around. It could have very well just been the wolf's jackals. Anyways, going underwater here. Okay. Yeah. Drop it. Up, up, up. Holy crap, you see them eyeballs? Spooky. Whoa! Are you kidding me? Rock boy. You're immune to lava? Jesus Christ. So I got a third bomb bag. This is nuts. I could have got that one a long while ago too. Not that long, but before the last dungeon. That's all there is down here. It almost looks like her nipples are pierced. That's just her hair. Not too bad. Let's get controversial. Nah, it's not even that controversial. I just think that's a short-sighted piercing to get. So it seems like it's relatively common. It could just be that I know a lot of trashy people, which is possible because I live near, not sure if I should dox myself, but let's say there's a couple not very pleasant areas in the world. One of them may be one of the least pleasant places in America around here, so I wouldn't doubt that I know a lot of trashy people. But it seems relatively common. Anyways, I think it's short-sighted because once they come out, the scarring that the piercing itself creates can close up your milk ducts. So if you plan on having children and not hiring a wet nurse, it might be shit out of luck. For those of you who don't know that term, it's someone who breastfeeds your children for you. It used to be something that, like, rich people would do. People who didn't have time to take care of their kids. I don't know how to get down besides diving, but I want to get to that Poe. So I already got that Fisher's Red right there. Probably the one I'm looking for. Is that another lantern? I think it is. Also, can I open chests as a wolf? I can. Funny. I hear some noise outside my window. Can't tell if it's thunder or if maybe a bear playing with the trash can. Yeah, it's definitely a redfish. That another one? No, it's a rupee. The color is very similar to the lantern. Oh boy. Okay, I got bombs. I'll blow this up. Probably be a rupee, but it could be a heart. I have to go back to that gear spinner spot from the beginning of this episode. Session, webisode, I don't know what to call it. Holy crap, he's actually responding. Gee. A reek fish, a stinky fish. I want to keep mentioning the prince, so maybe I can go to the prince directly? Oh, they're fish, they're not people, I can eat them. Honestly, what's the difference between a Zora and a fish? Legs? What's the difference between a burger and a cow? Legs? I rest my case. Oh boy. Here's Kakariko, here's the thing. That little spot up there at the top is where I want to go. Now I have normal bombs. And then I want to go to Kakariko and see if the kid is in that building. And then I'll get mad that I was right to go to the Elder from the beginning. Because I now realize I showed him the note, but I did not talk to him.
Do you go you need with
Otherwise, I might have to check the hospital in Castletown. Prince Rallis is the sick fish boy that we escorted in that cart. Lila, Leola. I don't remember how to pronounce her name. He's still there, so I have to assume that the fish is in Kakariko and not the hospital. Also, I can take this tunic off. Doesn't really do me much good. Take more damage from fire arrows. Whose thought was that? And more damage from ice? Come on, come on. At the very least, you could have given it a resistance to ice to give me a reason to use it outside of swimming. Gonna be a little mad if this works. I shot it with those bomb arrows. By all means, it should have exploded. I don't know what I was expecting. Turns out I'm equally mad, whether it works or not. I wonder if this has anything to do with the gear spinner. I don't know why it would. It just seems so out of place. It leads to nothing but a circle, which usually means pull out your bow or bomb it. Bow out, there's nothing to shoot. Claw shot, there's nothing to grab, I don't think. But a circle like this usually indicates secret. Or stand here and do the thing. There's just nothing to it. could it be? Alright, well, that was a waste of time. Dr. Rico. We go. There might actually be a cave just to the left of this bridge that I can go to. And if you can't tell, I took way too long to try and get this fish together, so plan is to get to the dungeon, and we'll actually do it in the next one, I guess. A good side quest, though, right? That's progress. It's not like I don't need the hearts, because I do. Not sure that I needed all the bomb bags, but you know what? Bomb arrows do damage. Is that just how I get up, or how I get down? Either way, I don't have a way back to the land mass. I might be able to make that jump. I'm not gonna try that again, though. There's the thing I want. This freaking gear spin around here. Bow's the best item. I hear Sparkle. Does that Sparkle with everyone? Sunshine. Okay. Oops. Such a cool mechanic. I wish they used it more. However, you move slow is kind of shitty. It'd be cool if it like, sped you up. Yeah. What do they call them? Bullet trains? Kind of magnet-propelled trains used all over Japan and nowhere else because fuck infrastructure. You know how much traffic would be improved in America if we had bullet trains going across the country? How much fuel it would save? Yeah, it's expensive as fuck to build them. My god, they go fast as shit. I think that America's carbon footprint would be decimated were they to just sink money into them. I was spamming Y so hard. Money. Oh. Oh, hey, chess. That's what I wanted. And that gives me heal. You know, with the no heart drops, the heart pieces in the dungeon kind of incentivize you to explore for the extras even more, I feel. Because you get a heal out of it. Normally your only heal in the dungeon is from the fairy at the end before the boss room. Which, you know, you're probably going to use right away, unless you want to go back and make it respawn. I think it's a good mechanic, though. Even though Nintendo didn't come up with it, it's kind of accidental by the mod. I guess they did come up with it. I wonder if the action replay code for this came before the first implementation of it. Which... What game did it first? It was either Wind Waker HD or Skyward Sword. I don't think Master Quest, the original release, had the bonus damage or anything on it. So they kind of coupled that in to the 3DS release of it. Which I think just gives you more incentive to play it. Because, you know, upon revisiting it, I mentioned before that I played Master Quest as my first game here, and the videos are now taken down because the quality was god-awful. I was gonna retread some ground, but upon revisiting that, I realized that a lot of the puzzles, while they are in fact more complicated, you were never gonna figure them out if you didn't know everything about the original game. So, having it sold as like a separate release is kind of screwed up. And it only ever should have been included as a bonus hard mode after beating the original. So that's 100% a matter of presentation, because I believe the initial release was like a pre-order bonus for Wind Waker. You get a GameCube port of the game plus Master Quest. The difference was you were able to pick it from the beginning, like on a menu. So naturally everyone who pre-ordered the game was in it for that specifically. I'm sure there were plenty of kids who didn't have an N64 and still got that. And they're like, well, this one sounds way cooler. Like, this game's stupid, the puzzles are hard and they don't make sense. I don't know why I walked all the way here. It gave me a chance to ramble, so that's good, I guess. I need to get better at rambling. Speaking of which, trying to watch my mouth a little bit more. Not necessarily that I won't swear, but I'm gonna watch the subject matter that I go into. Because I think when random people pop in the room and we're talking about maybe intimate stuff, adult content, they might get spooked off, especially if they're children. And honestly, that's not the kind of environment I want to be creating here. I want us to be relaxed, non-judgmental, which is kind of why we ever get into those conversations, but also some people think it's cringe since I don't have a massive following. I'm not critical, I can't just go and talk about my dick for fun. Right, this building. You know, I said this back in Soul Reaver, but I want this to be somewhat educational. I think I'm at my best when I'm talking about game design, and that's what I enjoy doing. Especially when I'm retreading games I've already played before. Oh, that's gonna try and be my main focus. And where is the sick kid? Might be in the tavern? I remember the door was locked before. They could have repurposed it. Really not sure where they stashed this kid. Excuse me. Yes, I recognize him. And we pray, and we pray, and we pray. Every day, every day, every day. Right, apparently the kid's not sick anymore, he's at the graveyard. Where, the other dead prince was. Where we got the armor. Considering that there was only armor in the grave, maybe it, wasn't actually a grave. Because obviously, Link slams some hands, some nons, some hams. And there are only 2 real candidates for that. One being Milan from Milan Ranch, and the other Princess Rudo, who technically was engaged to him when she gave him that sapphire gem thing. And when you're an adult, she still refers to you as her fiance, so it's not like it was a joke. Anyways, this Zora Prince/King, I don't remember which. Maybe it's actually just a grave for Link, but like a symbolic one. He's just got his blue tunic in it. Okay, hey kid, did you know about this fish? Everyone told me you did. Beastman of the Snowy Mountains? Can you just call him a snowman? How would you make an earring out of coral? So coral is like dead plant matter and fish bones and whatnot all mushed together in one thing, but it's all dried up in the salt water, so it is crazy hard and brittle and sharp. You wouldn't want coral around your ears. Mother and child rocks, it's a hint, but I guess we're looking for like a tall rock and a small one. Supposed to stand there. Alternatively, I can just look for the freaking red fish. And this takes me over by the fishing game, I think. Not fishing game, the boat game that we just did. No, out by the normal lake, okay. I guess I have to teleport then. Unless there's another cave I can do. I'm pretty sure there is one. So I also think that it only has, like, jellies in it, nothing important. Hey, a guy. I don't think I ever got the guy in the center platform either. Do that. Yeah, I see his lantern in distance already. It's neat that the draw distance isn't up super high, but they keep the collectibles very clearly visible, despite the fog. I think that's another lantern up there by the tower. a rupee. A little flickering red thing on the roof. Surprised that that's actually drawn from this far away. Just a little pinpoint. Boy.
What do you need?
I feel like Link should be able to strong arm this. Oh well. I'll take this cannon up and fly down. So, the GameCube only had one pause button, didn't it? I feel like that's right. It was just like one little nub in the center, and there was the logo above it. I have a controller in their room I can go look at, but why would I do such a thing? I'm saying it's because I was talking about how shitty the N64 controller was last time. GameCube controller's not at all bad, but like, I'm pretty sure this SNES had like a start and select button. They kind of just phased out that select button for some reason. N64 was the same way, it only had the start button, I think. Did it have a select? I might have to shut my mouth here.
Hi.
I'm like 60% sure it only had the one. And like start and select have always been so out of the way that they are just the throwaway command button, the immersion break buttons. So I'm just wondering why you would ever get rid of one when they're so useful. Their purpose has been clear since the beginning of ever. Oh! I should have dragged that out more. Pretty sure I got the reward though. So the top one might just be a big amount of rupees. I shouldn't have even bothered. I just want that lantern. That Poe. That Edgar Allan. You know, speaking of which, not really a big reader. Read maybe 5 books, like, on my own. Is that true? Yeah, relatively true. You know, obviously I read a lot for English and whatnot, but that doesn't really count because it's mandatory reading.
Hi.
Anyways, Edgar Allan Poe, good stuff. He's not one of those overrated guys. Oh, I was trying to say, I guess. It's actually worth your time.
be as from the... Very good, my...
I'm sure there are plenty of good or even stuff that I would enjoy reading, but it's really hard to find recommendations for that kind of thing. There's a bug up there. I think I have to fly to get to it. Thing is, not a lot of people read, and those who do are usually following trends for like movies that are coming out, which usually means some tween drama thing. A la Twilight, Maze Runner, Hunger Games, Divergent. And I think that all of those are bad and nonsensical. So when that's, you know, the general consensus of what an amazing, good thing that everyone should read is, I'm just, like, not interested. Game gained a lot of popularity when that movie was coming out, which was a pretty bad movie. But you know what? That one gets a pass because it was good. Plus, it was written long before the movie was ever taken into consideration. I feel like all those things I just listed off had, like, them planned almost immediately afterwards to capitalize on the big boom of teenagers reading them. It's kind of a weird audience to target, now I think about it. Like, these kids don't have money to go see your movie. Most of them don't. The lantern's still there. I can go for this. Don't you go anywhere, you son of a bitch. You might have disappeared. Ow! Oh, alright. Let's finally warp somewhere.
What is one? What you need?
That is 100% legit bug sparkling. Wouldn't make sense for the chains to wiggle out underwater, so it's definitely not that. Where is it? Where? Hello?
You can't break anything.
What's going on, mailman? Mr. Zora. That's how I'd address them. None of these guys are giving me their names. Makes you wonder. There's only like 20 of these guys around. I'm sure they can all tell by the differences in their patterns. Who's who. Oh! He did the dive animation onto the ground. And then he freaking like did a push-up to save himself and launch off in another direction. Amazing acrobatics. These are the mother and child stones, by the way. The other one's like big, the other one's not. Fishing rod, fishing rod. It got an upgrade. You see the picture? It's got the earring. Alright, let's fish and see if I remember how to do it. It's not like it's the same in every single video game. Japanese people just really love their fishing. I don't remember the controls for it. I'm trying. Okay, it's the stick. I was using the right stick, it's the left one. There you go. That was easy. A 27-inch sledgehammer of a fish. It looks so sick. Got like glowy freckles. They're actually changing color. It's kind of cool. Okay, so let's see. He's a stinky boy. I'm gonna use scent and use that to guide myself to the snowman. There's actually a bit of a trek to get here, so I'm pretty sure that we're going to get a warp point when we actually get to the dungeon, which would be good, because obviously I'm not at full health. However, a good thing about this particular dungeon is that the gimmick is that we're like making soup. So you can always go back and get some of that soup to heal yourself. And as you gather more ingredients, the amount of health that heals is increased. It's a fun little gimmick. Plus you can always come back here for soup. Because the room where you get it's very close to the beginning of the dungeon. As you'd imagine, touching that water is going to freeze your testicles off. So you don't want to do that. Also, I was a little worried when it was lagging there, but you know what? It smoothed out. I don't think I mentioned this before when the Zora domain was frozen, but remember how in the future of Ocarina the Zora domain froze over? Yeah, that had nothing to do with Ganon or climate change is real. It's gonna happen no matter what. It's actually kind of strange that it hasn't froze back over after we melted all that water. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, that hurt me, so I'm gonna not fight them like that. Dumb bitch. Did I skewer 2 of them with that arrow? No, I should use the one that has stuff missing. What's that? What is that? It's a cum slime. Yummy cummies. Oh, that's shitty. It has the same color as the lantern oil. Pretty sick though. Full health and boosted attack power for a bit. Yeah, I did say earlier that I wasn't gonna watch my mouth entirely. I still use adult words if it's for a bit. I feel like there's a howling stone somewhere out here in the tundra. Don't know where it'd be. Hey, is that it up there? It is. Speak of the devil. And he shall appear. Wow, Link actually can't walk in this shit. Thought that's what you had to do. I wasn't sure though. Hold on, I forgot it shows me where the things are. What? Up, mid, down, mid. Down, up, mid, down. Crap. Okay, so up, mid, down, up, mid. I missed it. Up, mid, down, mid, down, up, mid, down. Gotcha. You know, I kind of forgot that I even learned the fatal draw, or whatever it's called. Very risky to use. I legit forgot that I even had it. Graveyard. This is another thing to do when you unlock the teleport. Senses, they'll tell me where to go. Diggy, diggy hole. Oh boy. I guarantee it's those ice cubes doing it to me. Yeah, tell you what, I'm just gonna unlock this teleport, and then I'll go acquire the sword skill. And that'll be the last thing that we do in this session.
What breaking?
Jump strike? Doesn't sound too special. The jump attack looks great damage, non-colored effective against multiple foes. Oh! Oh, I remember this one. It's actually useful. As you said, it's effective against multiple foes. The sort of charged version of the jump attack. Okay, well. I guess that's the last thing that we're gonna do. The start of the next one, while I'm in Kakariko, I might try and do the hot spring water quest, just to get it out of the way. And then we're gonna do the snow dungeon finally. I'm shocked that it took me so long to catch a fucking fish, but in reality it took like a minute, but you know what I mean. I did a lot of side quests though. I got heart pieces, I got bomb bags. That was cool. Anyways, I'm gonna be saying goodbye to these beautiful textures and going back to the game's slightly less beautiful but still quite good ones. But we'll say goodbye to lag too, which is even better. Now I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully in a week. Or less. I don't know. I'm really sad that I keep overshooting it, but you know what? The winter's coming up, and I don't think I'm leaving home very much during the winter, so I should be streaming a bit more often once the snow starts falling here. Anyway, see you next time.